It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 23.
The first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Set to go, Wk15 ready to do the honors. And we are underway from the Superdome. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a three-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Andy Dalton. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He goes once again right back to Hardy. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Kamara try the right side. Dancing away at the 35. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton looking left sideline, incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Dalton. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So here are the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Marcus Davenport and the UTSA product.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. This one into the hands of Pitts. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Opening carry of the game for Cordell Patterson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
He's going to find Edwards open downfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll look to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
For the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll set up to throw. Got his man. It's London. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Falcons have taken the lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fields it right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. Look, the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Dalton, he'll get this one underneath to Kamara, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And some room to work. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. That good for 19 and a 1st down. His 1st carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, it's Kamara, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Dalton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
First and 10 for Dalton. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, first and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, they brought out the heavy package. Almost out the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
On for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
As long as you go through the proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. This pass is caught by London. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand for this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Offense tried to get a little slick there and sneak the back out of the backfield and turn him into the primary deep receiver. But it's good coverage defensively. They were able to break it up.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 17-yard line. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After reviewing the play,
so that challenge is successful. Tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Fourth down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Wk15. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will knot us up at 10. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half as they'll take over with just under a minute left to play.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw here, Dalton. They'll get this out to Kamara. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Passing, it's Dalton. Back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Falcons. And they were able to have some success throwing the football against the secondary. Look for that to continue as they try to break this deadlock.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. we started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This will be fielded inside the 5. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll drop to throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's got his man, London, right side. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there. And
as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Dalton here from the gun. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. Dalton. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Drake London, 44 yards. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Coup now for the point after. And the lead is up to 14. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. Room here to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. It didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Dalton now to pass. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. So Dalton now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans. Rolling along here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. And Charles, the 2nd time today that he has hit pay dirt.
And once you score the first one, there is that natural tendency, and there's also that eagerness to get back there again. Oh, he smells it. This guy smelled the end zone, and twice he's gotten there.
Wants to try to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 24-17. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side, there's London. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Running the jet sweep with Ridley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, that has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Looking to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Brought down at the 20.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Coach keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Here we go on 4th down. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
First and 10 for Dalton. Open man is the tight end, Troutman. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Dalton operating in the red zone now. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 17 yards out. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2. But I'll go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to 11.
Let's look to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. We'll get another look at Drake London as this offense returns to the field. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw here.
Got his man. It's London. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into the passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Edwards. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? Here's a give up the middle, and he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Certainly some pressure here on Wk15.
This for the lead in the final stages.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Could just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Dalton and the offense now. Down by a field goal. Under a minute 20 to go. Now they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Dalton. That is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. It's complete. Kamara. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Dalton. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a 1st down. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
He's got Landry, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. So now Dalton. That's complete to Troutman right side. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Dalton saying, let's get going here, guys, as he rallies them to get set. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Dalton wants to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
All right, here's Dalton. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort. That was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.